Hey everyone, it's time for your Monday Daily Trucker News Update, brought to you by The Trucker. I'm Carlin Stafford.
And I'm Nikki Snyder, and we have a lot of news to cover today, including Road Check 2021 date set, litigation between Amazon and the New York Attorney General, and a driver's passion for saving canines.
So, let's get rolling. Well, you've probably already heard by now, but the Commercial Vehicle Safety Alliance has announced that this year's International Road Check is set for May 4th through the 6th. Inspectors will ensure several of the vehicle systems are compliant with regulations. Now, there is plenty of notice, so make sure your rig is prepared and get it in a shop if it's not.
As if Amazon isn't under enough pressure, they are suing the New York State Attorney General, arguing that she's exceeding her authority in seeking to penalize the company for alleged failures in its pandemic safety protocols and treatment of workers at New York City warehouses. Amazon says General Letitia James' office has threatened to sue if the retail giant doesn't comply with the list of demands, which includes subsidizing public bus service and reducing production targets required of workers in its warehouses. The Seattle-based company seeks a court order that would prevent the New York AG from seeking to regulate Amazon's actions in response to COVID-19, as well as claims of retaliation by workers who protest working conditions. Stay tuned for more updates on this case in the coming months.
You know, this is definitely something we'll be keeping an eye on, but you should as well, because as we know, if things happen in New York and California, they normally impact the rest of the country as well. And with Amazon, it's pretty important that you're like, hey, what's going on? Because it could impact you.
Exactly. And you know what? Everybody has to follow suit in the protocols. So just be compliant.
Simple as that.
Yep.
Be compliant. Now, let's switch gears a little bit. Drug test results are in. Are you ready for the numbers? According to the FMCSA Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse, more than 56,000 drug and alcohol violations were recorded last year. Now, if you were one of those people who were flagged by the clearinghouse, remember, it's not an automatic end to your career. There are programs in place to help you get educated and to get you back on the road.
It seems like 2020 was a big doozy when it came to all the company and trucking events, but some charities benefited from it. Prime Incorporated donated a large portion of funds from its canceled 2020 company events to several charities. Prime typically recognizes and celebrates its driving and non-driving associates across the country through dinner parties and award ceremonies. The events that we hosts are not cheap, and the savings from not being able to provide these events to our associates are significant, said Robert Lowe, founder and CEO of Prime Incorporated. Prime donated $100,000 to Truckers Against Trafficking and $20,000 each to Harmony House, The Warrior's Journey, I Pour Life, Good Dads, Wounded Warrior Project, and Eden Village, The Gathering Tree Incorporated. Way to show what true selflessness looks like.
You know, it's awesome to see not just some companies like that, but those in charge of, truck shows as well, because we haven't had a truck show in a year and a half now. So it's very cool to see them kind of reallocating those funds to, charities and things like that.
Yeah, it's amazing to see, because of course that company could have saved those funds and put it towards the company in some way or another, but they chose to give back, and that is just extraordinary.
It is pretty awesome, so great job, guys.
Yes.
Now let's head down south, where the first trial date is set for May 10th in a New Orleans stage accident case. Janetta Israel, a 51-year-old Houston woman, will be in court for her role in a June 2017 staged accident with a tractor-trailer. According to the case, Israel traveled from Houston to New Orleans 2 days before the staged accident and was a passenger in the car whose driver is accused of intentionally colliding with a semi operated by Southeastern Motor Freight Incorporated. Israel, who has pleaded not guilty and has been released on a $15,000 unsecured bond, is awaiting the ruling of that case.
Talk about a passion for canines. OTR driver Rebecca Washington has been traveling with dogs for as long as she can remember. Washington currently has 4 dogs in her cab when she hits the open road. Washington stated that she has had as many as 11 dogs in her rig at one time, all who have been rescues. Quote, "I couldn't drive without my dogs. They are the reason why I do what I do," she said. "Trucking gets very lonely sometimes. I really feel like they are the ones that keep me going." Wow, Washington, 11 dogs at one time?
That's more than I would have in a house, let alone a cab. That seems woof.
What a
Okay.
big heart, though. I mean, good for you. You know, whatever keeps you company out on the road and keeps you sane, and those little fur balls do that for her. So,
You know what? Big heart and a very large pet food bill.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
hey, but that is do it for today's news update.
and tune in tomorrow for more.